Hey, what is going on guys? Bailey here, and today we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima, which we have not got long to go until this game's release on the 17th of July this year. I honestly cannot wait until this game is out, since it is a game that I've been waiting a very long time for. In this video, I wanted to talk about combat after we had received new information on the combat that will be in Ghost of Tsushima from an article that was recently published on the PlayStation blog. In this latest article on the combat in Ghost of Tsushima, Chris Zimmerman, the co-founder of Sucker Punch, gave us a greater understanding on the principles and main focuses that make up the katana combat in the game, and how samurai cinema and real-world actions influenced this gameplay. The article was very well detailed and very informative, so if you have the time, be sure to check it out. I will link it down below for you to read it. Anyway, in today's video, I want to go through all the details and gameplay mechanics that was provided in this article. Also, we did get 2 new videos showing the combat gameplay in Ghost of Tsushima, so we'll be taking a look at that also. So I hope you do enjoy this video guys, and if you do, don't forget to leave a like and be sure to subscribe to see more Ghost of Tsushima videos from me in the future. So let's get into these new details. So Sucker Punch's goal with Ghost of Tsushima has always been to capture the heart of the samurai fantasy and to transport players back to feudal Japan to live through the beauty and danger of Tsushima Island under attack. The main protagonist in the game, who will be playing as Jin Sakai, has trained his whole life in the samurai way. He's watchful, precise, disciplined, and deadly. He's a master of the katana, a confident horseman, and skilled with the bow. But those skills aren't enough when faced with thousands of Mongol invaders, who are going to be the main enemies in this game. Sucker Punch did say that achieving their goal of creating the time machine they were after rested on capturing the right feel for the katana. Without katana combat that looked right, sounded right, and felt right, this game would not have succeeded. During development, the devs would look for inspiration in the great combat examples in classic and modern samurai movies, but they quickly understood that things that work in movies don't always work in games. So they had a lot of work to do. So in the end, they ended up focusing on 3 aspects and main focuses on the katana combat, which was speed, sharpness, and precision. So let's talk about speed. Sucker Punch wanted your attacks in the game to be fast, replicating the movements of true katana action. Katanas aren't heavy, they roughly weigh 2 to 3 pounds, so quick slashing attacks are at the center of most katana fighting styles. All the attacks you see in the game were captured using their motion capture, so they could represent realistic movement speeds. However, those realistic speeds created a very interesting problem, that issue being that they were too fast to react to. So, okay, let's put it like this. Human reaction times are slower than you think. It usually takes about 0.3 seconds to respond to a visual stimulus, no matter how simple the stimulus and restore are. So a lot of the design work they did on katana combat was dancing around these limits. So if they had the realistic speeds in the game, there would be no problem with your attacks being fast, and they could just program the enemies to react instantly. The issue was that when the enemies had these realistic reaction times, it looked totally wrong. It would have also looked quite weird that the enemies could attack at the exact same speed as you, which wouldn't give the player enough time to react to and to block or to parry the attack. They also did not want to create an imbalance with the game either, by making the player button smash the attack button to defeat most enemies. They wanted to aim for a more meaningful, deep combat experience. So how they worked around this was, first, they realized that there's a limit to how fast players can react. There's no limit how fast they can anticipate. So if an enemy launches an attack string, they have given the player enough time to react to the first attack in the string. But since subsequent attacks can be anticipated, they can happen fast. So for example, one of the Mongols uses a 5-hit combo. The first attack is slow enough to react to, but the other attacks happen very quickly in that 5-hit combo. So yes, you will have enough time to anticipate the first attack and block or parry, but if you don't, however, you are going to take damage. They also realized that they could overlap enemy attacks. So while one enemy attacks you, another enemy can be winding up his attack. Jin will have enough time to deal with each enemy attack as it lands. Again, for an example of this, would to be compared to other games. In other games, when you are tasked with taking down a group of enemies, only one enemy will go in for the attack, and the rest of the enemies in the group will wait patiently until that enemy's attack is done, which does not look real. So moving on to the next big focus area in the katana combat was sharpness. Their aim during development was to respect the katana. Jin's family katana, the Sakai Storm, is a meter of razor edge steel wielded with malice, and they wanted the player to respect that. So in some of the samurai films that inspired them, a handful of cuts is enough to take down the toughest enemy, and they couldn't stray too far from that. They experimented with letting enemies absorb more damage when they could take too many hits before falling, but the sword no longer felt sharp. You know, if you are dealing many katana strikes to an enemy and they're losing a little bit of health, you, the player, are going to think that this katana is weak and useless and not strong at all. So that would also be the case with Jin too. The same rules would apply to him. If he was able to take a ton of katana strikes, you would lose that immersion and think that this is another hack and slash type of game. So in the game, the Mongols keep their weapons just as sharp, and Jin can't ignore cuts any easier than the Mongols can, which helps balance things out. So defending yourself in this game will be very important. You'll have to be clever when you use your block, parrying and dodging. If you concentrate, if you stay focused, you'll survive the fight. Sucker Punch wants to put you in Jin's footsteps with the rules he was forced to live by, and they want you to hopefully feel that. So the last big focus in the katana combat was precision. The katana is a weapon that rewards precision, a lifetime of discipline and practice to make exactly the right cut at exactly the right moment. It was important that the player got the same sense of precision. They said it started with responsiveness, making sure that Jin reacts instantly to the player's input. Quick attacks happen quickly. Jin does have slower, more powerful attacks, but they can instantly be cancelled out at any point, leaving Jin free to respond to unexpected events. They also wanted to reward the player for precise execution of Jin's abilities. So basic execution of blocking is simple. You just hold L1 on the controller to block the attack. Now there is a way to be more clever about your block. You wait to press L1 on the controller until the attack is about to hit. It changes the block into a parry, which allows you to head in for the counter attack. So parries are very important in this game. When you perform and complete these counter attacks, Jin will earn a little bit of resolve, which is a ghost's measure of the samurai spirit that lets him push through the pain and injury he sustains. Later on in the game, you will be able to upgrade your parry, which allows you to press L1 just as the attack is landing, and then the parry becomes a perfect parry, stunning the attacker and leaving him to a special devastating attack. Speaking about defense and attacking enemies, Jin can attack his enemies in many different ways, but with this game, it is important to choose the right attack against the right enemy. Jin is forced to evolve beyond the lessons he was taught, to incorporate what he learns from closely observing and fighting the Mongols. These lessons are distilled in new stances, collections of new attack techniques, which the player can switch between at any point. Switching stances based on what enemy you're fighting is important. So Jin can use the stone stance to quickly finish off a swordsman. Stone stance is an ancestral style developed to fight other swordsmen, so it works well against Mongol swordsmen. Jin can also use the water stance to create an opening against a shieldman. Jin devised water stance in frustration after the attacks he's practiced for decades proved ineffective against the Mongol shieldmen. Now, we're not too sure if these are the only stances in the game or if there will be more. We may unlock more stances as we progress through the game, or we may unlock them through upgrades. Anyway, it is important what stance you select when fighting a certain enemy. Again, this game is making the player constantly think about what you should do in certain combat situations. All these things, speed, sharpness, and precision combine to produce an experience Sucker Punch think the players will love. More precision means a more effective player, which means things can go faster and get more deadly to match. So that is it. That is all the latest information we've got on the combat that will be in Ghost of Tsushima. Personally, I really like the sound of this combat because, as I mentioned earlier, it keeps the player thinking always on what would be best in taking down a certain enemy. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below about the combat that will be in Ghost of Tsushima. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Also, if you do enjoy content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget that you can check me out streaming over on Twitch during the week, and you can find a link to my channel in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.